Welcome everyone, this is Dina from Mark's Group Live. Happy to be reviewing with you how to configure Zoho Desk. After the video is over, feel free to email us at support@marksgrouplive.com for any questions on this subject or anything else Zoho. Be sure to rate this class as well, helping your fellow Zoho users as well as us to improve the video library. Here are some of the key takeaways. First, Zoho Desk can be integrated with Zoho CRM for contacts and accounts. You can set up automated processes to assign tickets or respond to them, and you can customize a portal for customers to enter their issues. Let's go into Zoho Desk so we can go over what you can do here. So when you come in here to the main page, which is the tickets, what you want to do is go to the top right to the gear symbol, which is setup. And the first thing you're going to want to do is configure integrating Zoho with Zoho Desk with Zoho CRM. So you're going to come down to Marketplace on the bottom row, and then you're going to choose Zoho. And then you're going to see the Zoho applications that you can link or integrate Zoho Desk with. So as you can see, Zoho CRM is already enabled here, but if we were to click on that, first thing you'd want to do is to integrate is you're going to need the ZSC key from Zoho CRM. So I have Zoho CRM up here, and the way you get to that key is by going into the settings in CRM, and then you go into APIs under developer space. And then you're going to choose Zoho Service Communication ZSC key. And then what you'd end up doing is copying the ZSC key. And you're going to end up, if this needed to be brought in here, bringing that into Zoho Desk. Once you do that, you can choose what you want to sync. And you can either sync one way, going from Zoho CRM to Zoho Desk, or now you can also do two-way, which would be going from Zoho CRM to Zoho Desk and back again. And when you do configure it, you can set up the import or the sync of contacts and of accounts. And you can always edit how you do that. You can disable it if you want. But if you set it up to sync, then you will get all of the contacts and accounts from Zoho CRM to appear in Zoho Desk. So as you can see, the last import history added 46 contacts. So if we were to go into customers, and contacts, you can see that all of the contacts from Zoho CRM are included here. If we go back to the gear and setup, now, so that's one of the first things you'd want to do to integrate or configure Zoho Desk. The next thing you'd probably want to do is go over to the general section and just make sure you have all the information in for your company. So the first thing under general would be company, and you would want to make sure your company name is there, contact information, employee count, etc. And once you put it in, you can always edit it. And as you can see here, now that I've edited it, the company name and the primary contact are the main information required, as well as the locale. The next thing you want to consider doing is rebranding. So if you, as you go into each of these portions of setup, on the top right you will see a help, and if you click on that, it will explain in each case what this page is about. And in this case, you're going to be rebranding your Zoho Desk, which is essentially the portal for your customers, so that it reflects your company's identity. So in this situation here, you'll be loading your company logo, and that way that your logo will show up. Next, you have domain mapping, and if you do information here, what it will tell you is that if you have your own website, you can link Zoho Desk into your website, so your customers only need to go to one place that's branded for you. We don't have that done here. Next, you have remote authentication, which if you click the information again, you can see that you can continue to set up remote authentication once you hook your domain up. And then the portal name, you can always change the portal name if you would like to. Again, you can click the information. You can have it more reflect your company's identity and change the name here. And then the next thing is business hours. So if this is a support um, a support system, you want to have business hours where you are open and accepting tickets and when the tickets are going to go unanswered. So what you want to do here is you can add your business hours. You can do many different ones. So you would name the business hour, specify the operational hours. You have always, and then it's just 24/7. You can have specific hours, and here's where you can outline, in this case, 9 to 6, and you can always make changes to this by um, just moving with the cursor up and down. And then you can also do custom hours, depending on what you want to do. You can change it by day, etc., and you can do whatever you need there to set the business hours. You can also um, add holiday lists. If you know which holidays you're going to be out, you can add the holiday list right in here, and then you don't have to worry. It'll always be included here. So let's say you're closed on January 1st, you would call that New Year's, and you would keep that as a holiday and then save it here as well. The next thing we have is customer happiness. And basically, this is a way for you to get feedback on your customer service. Now, the way Zoho Desk works is that there's some set um, ratings in here already. But you can go in and customize these. You can, as you select one of these, like the good, you can get that pencil icon and do edit. You can change the image, you can change the rating, you can change the response on the rating or the feedback, which would change the items that you have in the box. And you can do the same for all of these. And then what you could also do is determine when you want the ratings to happen from the customers. Do you want it every response sent, when a ticket is closed? And then you can also customize the template that they would have as well for when the ticket's closed and when they would provide the feedback. And then again, you can add a link which will have the rating question, or if you want the smileys as well. You can turn it on and off at the top here under customer happiness. This toggle, you can click to disable it, and you can then click to enable it as well. You can show an agent photo if you want. You can reopen a ticket. You can do a few different things here, and this is all around the customer happiness. The next thing you can do is add products. So if your tickets are going to be tied to specific products, most likely you'd want to add those products in. And you would need a product name. If you had categories, depending on the complexity of what you were doing, you can have categories as well to just keep organizing the data and make it easier for your agents. And then the other thing you can do is have departments. Now, departments would be groups of agents, and these would be very helpful when you're trying to automate where tickets should go and all that. And if you look on the information here, it's a way to organize your customer service support department operation into departments, and that way you can funnel your workflow rules, etc. And you can also customize each department by business hours. Maybe they're in different locations, things like that. So if and then you'd have active and inactive. So we have one now that's active, and you have a name here. You can have the channel. It's an email channel, so it has an email, and then you can do other configurations, auto CC, the emails, replies, etc. So this is in here, and then you can always add a new department as well here and define it as well. And when you add a new department, here in the middle, you're going to associate agents. We don't have a lot of agents in here, but you can associate multiple agents to the same department, and that's something you would use later on as well. So the next thing I want to show you is that you can configure the channels. Now, the channels are the different ways that you're going to get these tickets. So first one is going to be email, and you have the support email address. And this is basically the email address that can be used to send tickets into Zoho Desk. And what you could do is from your email server, you can set it so all emails of a certain type forward automatically to this support email address. It's customized to some extent, and then it has zohodesk.com at the end. So you can configure this any way you want. You can set it up to automatically fetch email or stop it when you want. And if you wanted to edit it, you would edit, anything here. This is tied to a department here. And then if you wanted a new email, let's say you had a different department, you can get a different one. You can call this, the TV support at Mark's Group, and then you can give it a friendly name as well and use it as well. Next thing is the from address, and this is going to be the address that responses are going to come from. You can configure here. It says you can configure your company's support email address from address for replying to emails, as I just mentioned. So that way you can show it just coming from your company without having the zohodesk.com part there as well. Next is the Help Center, and this is really the portal that your customers are going to be able to use. So you can, again, this is the name of the portal. Like we showed before, you can map a custom domain for your specific website with Zoho Desk. You could choose the language. You can then set permissions. Can a customer sign up for the Help Center? Can they view tickets of other users in their account? Whether they have to register to access the center. Do you want to display the community, which would really be like a forum? Or do you want to invite customers automatically when they submit their first tickets? And when you do that, that way, as they submit their ticket, they'll get the response, and then they can track the progress of their ticket. And again, you can go into the information and get a little bit more information there as well. And within the Help Center, this is the access settings. You can also determine the users. And you can see we have 4 invited users, and that goes back to the access setting that we had here at the bottom to invite customers automatically. So if we go into users, invited, we can go into one of these, and you can always resend the ticket, or you can go in and look at all the information from the user. You can also have email templates for the invitation, what goes out when the invitation goes out, when they've actually done what they need to do to activate. They'll get an email telling them they're activated or reactivated, and when they're deactivated. And again, you can customize these any way you would like. Other Help Center customization. So this is what the Help Center is going to look like. So what you can do here is you can customize a lot of it. So if you were to click on the customize right in the middle, you can make a lot of changes to what you want. You can edit the Search Help Center, which would be here. You can just do a lot of different things here to be able to customize this more, either to the look and feel of your website or just how you want your processes to work. And there's a few other things you can do there. The next channel would be chat. And if you are managing tickets through chat, you can customize what that chat is. You can turn the chat, disable chat, or leave it on. You can embed it as a floating button like it is here. Here is the URL information, the code if you want to encode this into your website, and you can define how you customize the chat window itself, either the background color, the header, all of that as well. You can customize this as well. Next is the community, and this would be the forum, and you can come up with different categories. You can define the preferences on whether it's a discussion or announcement, how you want to use basically the portal if you want to use it. And there's some gamification if you'd like as well. Next is Twitter. If you want to configure your Twitter account, what this does, as you can see here, is that you can automatically convert tweets to support tickets under certain conditions, or you can do it manually. So you need to have some information about your Twitter account to be able to configure it. You can do the same with Facebook. And then you can have the same with some phone providers and linking them into to be able to create tickets as well. So we've covered general already. And then the next area to really consider is ticket status. So when you go into ticket status, you have these preset statuses: open, on hold, escalated, and closed. And you can edit any of these. You can say which one is a fallback for default. You can rename these by just clicking on the three dots, replace it, change the type if it's open or etc. And you can also add statuses as well. So these are the statuses that are going to show up for your tickets, and they're fully customizable. Layouts and fields is the next section, and here is where you can determine, is this the way you want your ticket laid out? Maybe your company has something else that would be easier for the agents that you want to leverage, and you can change the way that the fields are laid out. So here we're in the layout, and then you have the field list. You can always decide if you want to edit the fields or either create new ones or edit what format the fields are in. You can do all kinds of things just by sliding information over. When you're in here, you can go into the setting. You can mark a field as required, set permissions for it, remove the fields, etc. Field dependencies. You can decide if there's any information that is needed in one field that then will feed additional information into another field. For instance, if you pick one kind of project, maybe the information that's needed for that ticket will have different information than it would for another product. Field permissions. You can determine what an agent can do on each field. Can they change the account name? Can they change the responded time? Probably not, because that's a way that you're tracking the agent. Category, you want them to change that. You can also decide if you don't want to show certain fields. And then you have search fields. You can add these in as well. The other thing you can do with Zoho Desk is time tracking. And with time tracking, you can determine if you want agents to manually time their tickets or if you want to automatically time their tickets and which aspects. And this way you can get a better understanding of how long it's taking them and what's going on with their tickets. Next, we have modules, and this is really, if we go into here, this is really to help give the agents information and organize the information for them. Next, we have the templates. We have email templates. These can be notifying an agent on assigning a call. These could be all different activity. Notify agents when a ticket is moved to their department. So if I click on that, for instance, you can see that it's letting the agent know that a case has been moved to their department, so they know what to do with it. There's a lot of emails already here, templates, but you can always add your own as well. And then you can decide what's going to be there. And you can insert placeholders for specific fields. You also have templates for tickets. And if I click on New Ticket Template, this is what will show up here, and this can be customized as well. There's information that can be customized here. Next, we have General Settings, and this is where agents you determine if you want them to send outbound emails or not. And then there's personal settings as well that each person can do for themselves. The next category I want to go over is automation, because this is an important part of what you can do with Zoho Desk. So one of the most important things, or valuable things, is assignment rules. So you can either do a direct assignment or a round robin if you have, say, a department with 3 people and you want to evenly distribute the leads. So here in the direct assignment, we have one set up already for Twitter, and the rule name is Twitter, and basically it creates a ticket when the channel is Twitter, and it's assigned to our user here. And you can create your own assignment. You can set a rule name, and then let me just do it so I can show you. And then again, you can decide if the ticket's created or the ticket's updated or both. And then you add the target, and this is where you decide the criteria. So the criteria is going to be driven off of one of the fields on the ticket. So for instance, let's say the product name, I don't think we have any products in here, is test, because I don't think we have one. You can then say whenever the product name is test, you will assign that ticket to our one user if you have somebody else. So that way you can automate this in a way that you have product specialists. Or you can just do round robin, where if we go in here, you can put a rule name, and then you can check. You can see here the rule will assign tickets as soon as they are received in your help desk. The rule will not reassign. So let's just do one here, test 2, and then we can add a target, and then we can say status is open, and then you can assign it to agents, or you can assign it to teams, which are, and that's where you're going to get the round robin in. So it's when you click on team, it's going to auto assign tickets to agents in a team in a round robin order. So it'll just keep rotating around to them. So that's the notification, the assignment rules. You can also set rules around notification. So for instance, when a new ticket is received, do you want to contact somebody, and do you want to do by email? Do you want to do by SMS? You can choose all the different options here. You can assign when something comes in and is assigned. You can turn that on, and then basically the email template you can determine here. It's basically saying that the agent has been assigned a specific ticket here. The next thing you can do is workflows. And workflows, there are rules that you can do. And these are, let's say this, you can do it within the module that you're in if it's an account, but let's do it off of let's do it off of products. Or tickets, we'll do tickets. Rule name is open ticket. You can make it active, next. And then you can say what is the activity that's going to happen. Are we going to execute the rule when a new record is created, when it's edited, when there's a field update? I'm going to go with created, do next, and then you can determine here what happens. So specify the criteria. So status is open. You can add additional criteria if you want. And then the next thing is what actions are going to happen. You can set alerts, tasks, field updates. We'll do a task. There's no, you can then add the task or the alert here. And you can customize if it's a new one. This is loading. And then you can define the task here. And then automatically, in this case, whenever the status is open, whatever this task is, you can assign it to people, it will take place. Other things that you can do in workflow is alerts and set up alerts to somebody. Tasks, basically this covers all the options we saw under the rules. Field updates or custom functions. You can also set up blueprints, which will automatically automate a process of yours. So if we go into help, you can see it's basically you're outlining the process, and there's certain things that you will require to happen before the agent can move on to the next step. A few other things as well. Users in control, that probably should be set up on the earlier side, and this is where you have your agents. You can add agents, you can deactivate them, and you can do some information with them. Again, this is where the teams are, the way we showed before. And then you can have permissions. Under permissions, you have roles. You can set up the structure of how the roles work. Profiles, so you can create profiles and then set privileges based on the profile. So if you have an agent profile, you can determine, can they view, create, and update, and you can customize which they can do here, and then whether the permission is active or not. So there's a lot to think about when you're configuring Zoho Desk to make sure that you're giving your agents and everybody else the right active access to the system, but also not too much to monitor privacy as well. And then you can import and export information. You can have recycle bin, and then you have the marketplace, which is where we connected CRM, and there's other options of what you can connect as well. So if we go back to the home, and then if we go back to our takeaways, hopefully this gave you a good idea of how you can configure Zoho Desk. There's a lot you can do, and the good thing is that Zoho Desk, as you can see, really walks you through everything. You just need to think about how you want to configure for your company. So as you can see, Zoho Desk can be integrated with Zoho CRM. You can set up automated processes, and you can customize the portal for customers to enter their issues. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please check out our library for other training videos like this one. And if you have any suggestions for other classes or questions about Zoho, please email us at support@marksgrouplive.com.